Look at this. Scenes from New York City here on a Friday morning. Migrants continue to sleep on the streets, shelters overrun. An advocacy group accuses Mayor Adams of using these migrants as props to try and get more help from Biden. Joe Borelli is with us. He's the New York City Council minority leader, joins us now. Look, Joe, the place is falling apart. It can't go on. What's your end game here?
No, and these advocacy groups that you mentioned are actually the ones to blame. I mean, these are the people that demanded we have sanctuary city laws, demanded we have right to shelter laws in this state, basically guaranteeing that as of tonight, we actually have the population equivalent of Helena, Montana, who are migrants sleeping in our shelters, of whom we're paying for every single service from food to shelter.
Yeah.
So we have reached a critical point right now, and I don't think Eric Adams is doing this just to use them as props, but I also don't think the theatrics of what we're seeing every single day is hurting Adams if you believe, as I do, that he wants to bring this thing to a head quicker than later.
He can't, look, things are coming to a head, aren't they? I mean, I've got New Yorkers throwing up their hands. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. The middle of New York City is just crowded with people, you know, fresh from Central America. When is this going to stop, Joe? And how's it going to stop? I want to know. New Yorkers want to know. Hey, when's this going to stop?
Well, that's the question that there seems to be no answer for. We already leased over 100 hotels. There just simply aren't any more hotels for us to lease that are willing to do this. We've built temporary shelters. So the question really is to these Democrats, when are they going to just cut the cord? Now, we recently had 54 Democrats here in New York sign a letter to Joe Biden saying you have to declare a state of emergency. So that's a good step. That's sort of a self-reflective moment, realizing that this is a crisis that isn't going to be resolved until the border gets shut down and the federal government starts paying for some of these people they let in.
In other words, things are going to get worse and worse and worse. Things are falling apart. I think this city is in crisis.
I would say so. I mean, this migrant crisis alone is costing us more than the fire department and the sanitation department combined. I mean, this is one of our single largest expenses as a city, and it is the responsibility of the federal government. Now, you could blame the Democrats, I sure do, for making us a sanctuary city and basically demanding that we provide these services. But until Mayor Adams and the rest of his Democratic colleagues really come to the conclusion that this will not end until they cut the cord, then we're just going to be, having this problem in posterity.
I hate to see this, but this city is falling apart from the middle. That's a terrible thing. Joe Borelli, thanks very much for being here. Lou, you just moved to New York City.
I'm crazy. I'm a contrarian, obviously. Yeah.
What do you think when you walk around?
Look, I think the state of emergency is not here. It's at the border, and that's the problem. The politicians here are now the crisis that are trying to address the symptoms, not the root problem. And I think it's grandstanding, right? I mean, Joe had written a piece back in the New York Post about how Florida real estate is they're trying to work. The government's trying to work with developers to solve the housing crisis, where New York City politicians are just issuing press releases. Mayor, this is the same thing here. We're just issuing press releases, a plea for more federal funding to address the symptom. I think it's terrible. Don't lose sight. These are human people here.
Yes, they are.
I mean, let's not lose sight of the human element, but our politicians are now making this into a platform for them to compete against, and it's just it's not working. There's no solutions that have been proposed, which is the most angering thing
we got
as an
past
American.
the tipping point. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Joe, come back in again, please. I want to talk about those outdoor dining sheds. New York City wants to make them permanent. Not everybody is happy with making them permanent. How about you?
Well, there's good news and bad news. We're going to make them permanent in the sense that we will allow them to be built every summer for 4 or 5 months and then taken down every winter. I think that's actually a positive thing. New York was one of the cities that made it extremely difficult to have outdoor dining, even though the rest of the world seems to like it. No surprise, after the pandemic came and went, we had people who just demanded that we open up more outdoor dining locations. So I think this is a positive thing overall. Certainly problems with the legislation. Some people don't want to live under a nightclub, and I certainly can't blame them. But making it easier for restaurants and small businesses to open up their sidewalks, open up some portions of their street to outdoor dining, I think is a net positive.
You know, some of them have been turned into migrant camps, but that's another story entirely. Joe Borelli, you got to start pounding the table about New York City, man, I'm telling you. Joe Borelli, come and see us in person soon. Thanks a lot.